one day I just realized that something would happen, and I always have to go and tell somebody about it first before I would even consider how I feel. So then when nobody's available and you're just stuck with yourself and you're like, what do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. And you really got to like think it out. That's when I realized like, wait, I never do this. I don't know how I feel about anything. Like what? And I don't even know how I feel about stuff until I ask somebody. And that's not okay. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Andy, and here on my corner of the interwebs, we talk about life, love, the pursuit of passion, and the pursuit of purpose. Sometimes we do a vlog. Today I actually have a question for you though. Are we out here trusting ourselves? I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are we out here really trusting ourselves? And when I ask that question, I mean as far as trusting in our gut, trusting in our first mind, our instincts, our intuition, trusting in our abilities, trusting in our process. Are we trusting ourselves? Or do we find ourselves second guessing and needing to seek outward guidance or insight for like everything? So what we're talking about today in regards to this question, in regards to self-trust and taking a deeper dive into the topic in general, is basically recognizing where we don't trust ourselves, the importance of learning to trust ourselves, and then when it comes to learning how to trust ourselves, where we can start. Because this is just another one of those areas in life where once you notice that you have a pattern here, and you notice that something's a little off in regards to your confidence in your own abilities and your processes and how you tend to, or you may tend to second guess the decisions you make or the answers that you land on independently. And then you always need to depend on some type of external agreement or confirmation that what you are deciding for yourself is correct. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And that's something that once you notice it, it's time to look at it a little bit more on a deeper level. It's time to unpack the layers and see how we can just work on it. Now, when it comes to recognizing the areas in which we may not trust ourselves, I want you to pay attention to the thoughts that follow any type of like idea or inkling, any type of decision that you may be deciding to make in a moment. What thoughts follow that decision? What thoughts follow that inkling, that first mind, that initial idea that comes to you? What thoughts are you chasing that with? If you are confident in that idea, that thought, that inkling, whatever the case may be, and then your following thought covers it in some type of doubt or some type of negativity or some type of like inability to accept that you have reached this decision and it's the right decision for you and you need somebody else to verify or confirm it for you or like be in agreement. I want you to peep those areas because those are the areas where it may be safe to say that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust in your ability to lead your life in those realms. And when those thoughts of like doubtfulness come upon you and kind of lead you to not feel so confident in that first mind, I want you to ask yourself additional questions like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I writing off this idea that I just had so quickly? Or like, why do I feel this way about this? Ask those questions on why you want to write it off before you actually do it. Like, give yourself time to really examine where that is stemming from, why that is happening. Because when you explore why you want to write it off, and you get into that, you'll discover either one, it really is not feasible, because that is an option. Like maybe it's really not a feasible idea or a path that you should take. Maybe it doesn't make sense right now, but it will later. Maybe you'll reach some type of conclusion in regards to that. Or two, you'll realize you're tripping. Like you'll realize you're just tripping. And in realizing that you are tripping and you're not completely sure why you are feeling that way or why this doubt is here, this is a clear exposure, I feel like, of an area where you just do not trust yourself. You just don't trust yourself. And in further looking into that, you can learn why. You can dig deeper and be like, oh, like I don't trust my judgment in this space because in the past I have made decisions that didn't turn out to be the right ones, or I don't trust my judgment in regards to like how I discern other people because I be messing up. I'll think somebody is a decent human being and then they're like the spawn of Satan. I don't know. So I don't trust my discernment in this area. Let me check with someone else. Like, you bring that to light, and in bringing that to light, it gives yourself the opportunity to fix it, to learn how to trust yourself in those areas. And let me tell you why it's important to learn how to trust yourself in those areas. So in discussing the importance of learning how to trust yourself, period, trusting yourself is just as essential as loving and respecting yourself. When you can trust yourself, you are trusting in your ability to guide yourself in the right direction, or at least have full support of the decisions that you make based on the knowledge you have and the experiences that you've had. Just having the full support of that and being confident in the decisions that you make, in the directions that you choose to go. And even if it does end up not working out or whatever it may be, at least you were confident in that moment. And now you can just take this as another learning moment where you can now have additional fuel for the next decision that you have to make. But in trusting yourself, it's all about that confidence and how you decide to go about living, how you go about living and learning to the best of your ability and spearheading essentially your own growth. And this is important to have. It's important to be able to have confidence in your ability to lead your own life, because if you don't have confidence in yourself to do it, you're gonna have to depend on others. And that's not a good place to be in. It's not a good place to be in when you can't just make a decision for yourself. You'll make a decision, you don't trust it, you got to depend on somebody else to validate it or to be in agreement, and nobody knows you the way that you know yourself. So no matter who it may be, they can be super close to you. They could be somebody who knows damn near everything about you, but they are not living life from the experience of being you. You are. So literally, you know what is best for you. You just have to unlock the confidence and rebuild your strength in knowing that you are the one who knows best. Because if you're letting other people confirm that the direction that you're going in, or that you're deciding or thinking that you should go in, if you're allowing everybody else to lead those decisions for you, you're not leading your life. They are. If you're not the end all be all when it comes to the decisions that are made for your life, it's not your life. You're leading, like, you're doing it, you're here, you're going through the steps and the motions, but it's not you. It's not coming from a place of your soul. It's not coming from a place of what you actually truly desire. It's probably more so like what you think you desire. It's more so like you just giving it, just placing your fate in the hands of somebody else or something else to make the decisions for you. You're not really fully involved in the experience. You're just riding along, basically. And that's not cool. You need to be fully involved and immersed in the experience, because that's what we're all here for. And honestly, also, when you lose that self-trust, like when you do not trust in your ability to make your decisions, and when you don't trust in your process, when you don't trust in yourself fully to lead your life, that the consequences of that can be a slow burn. It can be a slow burn. I don't think that's something that you really notice in the moment, like as it is consuming you, as you are essentially splitting off further and further from your life, from the experience that is your life. Because I can speak only from my own experience, but when I have noticed this in the past, where it feels like I noticed that I didn't trust myself. It's always like if something would happen to me, or if anything would happen, period, before I would even give myself a chance to consider my opinion on it or confirm how I feel, I'm reaching out to others. I used to call them like my board members, like my closest friends and my mama. Like, I'm reaching out to everybody else to tell them what happened and be like, what do you think about this? What is this? What does this mean? Like, it becomes so routine for you. And I think that it may be routine for a lot of people, is to just like go and seek insight and advice, or like share what's going on with your people, as you should. But I just implore you to take a moment before you do that and confirm how you feel about something first. When you give yourself a chance to truly sit with how you are feeling about something and confirm what you want to do first before you go and seek insight from other people, That is how you learn more about yourself. And in learning more about yourself, that is how you learn how to trust yourself. Like, that's taking you on the pathway to solving that discrepancy right there. And we want to make sure that we do this. We want to make sure that we're taking the time to truly learn ourselves and discover and determine exactly like what decision we would make on our own before consulting others. It's important to know yourself because, again, if you don't know yourself and you're just here moving through the motions, just going based off of what other people are telling you, what they think you should do, how they feel about it, and just being like, oh yeah, like, you're mad about that, I'm mad too. Like, what is that? Is that a TikTok? I think that's a TikTok sound. I might input it, I might not. I might just sound crazy, but it's like when everybody mad and then the one guy like, I'm mad too. And then, shut up, no you not. Like, that's you. You the person who's just like, man, I'm mad too. Like, no you not. You don't even know what's going on. You're just so disconnected from your own experience that you're just peeping what the people around you are feeling and what they're expressing, and you're taking that. And again, dangerous place to be in because you're not really here. You're not really present. Who even are you? And when you're not here and you've essentially lost yourself, again, we've talked about this in a past video as well, when you just become a culmination of other people's thoughts and opinions, and because you're not really here being authentic. You're not giving yourself the time to really even see what your authenticity looks like, what it feels like, what it means. Like, other people are just leading this life for you. And that also leads to another previous video that it's actually the most recent video that we talked about, where lacking self-trust also plays a part in giving your power away. You're gonna always give your power away if you do not trust yourself to hold it. If you don't trust what you are gonna do with it, it's always gonna be given away to somebody else. And we need to make sure that you have that power back. And we also need to make sure that you are fully present in this human experience, that you are fully present in this life that you are living. You need to be the one leading it. So while you're not here and you're noticing that you're not here, you're noticing that you have become maybe a culmination of your people's opinions and thoughts, and you don't give yourself sufficient time to really be like, how do I feel about this first before you go reach out to others, or you're not making decisions based on how you truly feel and what you think you should do. You're making decisions based on what other people are telling you. You're not here. Now let's bring you back. We're gonna bring you back. So now, a good place to start in learning to trust ourselves. Basically, I want you to sit alone in your thoughts, in silence, just you, and you just see where you takes you. That's it. See where you takes you and face every destination, face every stop on that path, every stop. And basically I'm saying, when you're sitting with just you alone in your thoughts, where does your mind go? Where does your mind take you? And how are you feeling about what you're thinking? You just sit and do that. That's one of those things that essentially deliver you to yourself. I feel like you are delivered to yourself on a platter. This can be a difficult place to be, just like alone with yourself, needing to analyze your thoughts and your emotions and really getting to know yourself. It can be difficult, and that's why a lot of people will just like distract themselves with hella stimuli and just be like overstimulated with something. Always got something on. We always listen to music. We always got the TV on. We're always scrolling on our phones. We can't just sit in a moment and just think with ourselves. And if you can hear my stomach growling, that's my business. I'm hungry. That's my business. Just ignore it, God. But while this could be a difficult place to be, just in the silence, just you alone with your thoughts, just facing them, just facing whatever comes up for you. While it can be a difficult place to be, it's also very freeing. It's also very freeing because it's bringing you out of the rubble. It's bringing you out from under the distractions and the overstimulation. It's bringing you back to the surface, and it's shining a light on who you truly are. Who you truly are, your true essence, it can finally be realized. It can finally come to the surface. So spending time here alone with yourself is exactly how you learn exactly who you are. And in these moments, now, anytime that you need to make a decision, anytime that you need to think on something or you're unsure of where to take something, what to do with something, you bring that process back to this space, back to this silence, back to this space where it's just you and yourself, bring it all back here. You carry it back here. You sit in this silence, you and that thought, and you just see what comes up for you. You just take the journey, take the mind journey, and just face whatever stops it stops at. And at each stop, you ask questions. At each stop, you ask questions and you answer those questions. Because again, it's just you. This is the process that is literally just with you, because it's giving you a chance to dig deeper. I think that I want to do this thing, but I'm not sure. Let me sit on it for a second. Let's ponder it. Like when you're pondering it, this is where you go. So I'm at this stop. Like, this is what I'm thinking I want to do. Mind comes here. I don't know if I want to do that. Why don't I know if I want to do that? It sounds like it'll take a lot of time. The time's going to pass anyway. What's bothering me about the idea of it taking a lot of time? Am I in a rush? Does this need to be done right now? What's going to happen if I just take all the time that's needed to do so? Is that going to really hurt anything? Like, you're asking questions and you're answering them over and over again until you reach a dead end, until you reach the end of the thoughts. And once you reach the end of the thoughts, like there's no more questions, there's no more answers that need to be given, you just see where you've landed. Because where you've landed is your answer. And that is how you get to know yourself and get to know exactly how you want to go about handling a situation. You're getting to know how you process information on your own. And because you are taking the time to do this, this is how you increase your confidence in making decisions for yourself. Because you know with certainty that you took the time and you really analyzed the entire situation and you considered every different direction that you can go in, and you made the conscious decision to make the decision that you landed on. You examined every other one. This was what was best. So now you are even more confident in heading in that direction and going that way. And the way that you increase your trust, like trusting yourself in making these decisions, is honestly, you don't run that by someone. You don't run that by someone. You take it and you trust in your ability to make a decision and you act on it. You act on it. And in you acting on it and seeing a couple outcomes, seeing what happens, facing the consequences of your actions, that is how you learn, and that is how you build that trust with yourself. That's where you're going to see, okay, maybe this is where my thought process is a little messed up. Let me revise, or let me look into this a little further. Maybe at this point you get some insight from an outside person, someone with more experience, somebody who is wise, who can really give you some clarity and help you in rerouting your mind or adding a different perspective that will help you in future situations, or in making those decisions and taking those courses of action on your own when you realize those outcomes and those outcomes are just fine. We're increasing that trust. I trust myself. I came up with this decision on my own. I trust that I can make this decision for myself. I trust that I can look at this person and I can listen to what they're saying and watch what they do, and I can deduce that they are not really, they're not here for my good. They don't have positive intentions for me. I'm gonna let that go. Or I feel like they have positive intentions for me. I trust that they're here for the right thing. I trust they're here for the right thing. And just seeing what happens, seeing what the outcome is or what the consequence is. Maybe you thought that they were a good person, and you decided to keep on talking to them, and then you realize later they were not. Now you can look back, and again, you're gaining wisdom. You're gaining experience on your own. You're trusting yourself to make decisions, and whether it has a good outcome or a negative outcome, a less favorable outcome, you are giving yourself the chance to learn and grow. You don't need to depend on somebody else to make these decisions for you or to lead your life. You're leading your life. And whether you make a mistake or go in the wrong direction and you have to reroute, you got to turn around, you got to start over, whatever the case may be, you're learning the entire way through, and you're confident in every decision that you make because you really take your time to make them. And when you make a less favorable decision, because I don't want to say a wrong or a bad decision, because they're not, it's just we're learning. So we're going to make less favorable decisions sometimes. And when you do, and you're examining where you may have missed something or like how you went in the wrong direction, again, that's where you seek insight from wise people. That's when you reach out to people who you do trust, humans who you do trust, to give you their perspective and their outlook on the situation. And paired with your experience and the knowledge that you've gained from this experience, their insight can help you in ensuring that you make a better decision later. You have to grow that trust, y'all. We have to grow that trust, okay? And I know I said like, I've realized this with myself before where I wouldn't trust myself to fully make a decision. And it was like a slow burn. It was something where one day I just realized that something would happen, and I always have to go and tell somebody about it first before I would even consider how I feel. So then when nobody's available and you're just stuck with yourself and you're like, what do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. And you really got to like think it out. That's when I realized like, wait, I never do this. I don't know how I feel about anything. Like what? I don't know how I feel about this. And I don't even know how I feel about stuff until I ask somebody. And that's not okay. So then you take the time, you go on this journey, and you don't ask anybody shit for a while. Because you're like, I need to get to know myself. How do I feel about everything that happens in my life? Like, I need to know how I feel. I need to know what I actually want to do. Something may rub somebody else the wrong way, but honestly, for me, maybe it's not that bad. Like, no, I don't take that personally. And in you realizing that about yourself, maybe you realize things about other people like, oh, they take it personally because they went through this, that, and the third. I don't take it personally because I didn't go through that. I don't have the same experience as them. We are not the same people. And that's the thing. It's like, you are you, other people are other people. You're living this life. You need to be the one leading it, okay? People can give you advice, people can give you insight. Again, trusted sources only, please. But before you receive and retain that advice and that insight, you should know how you feel about a situation first. You should know what you want to do first. So again, I bring us back to the original question. Do you trust yourself? If this video has led you to realize that maybe you don't, maybe you do in certain areas, and in other areas, you have some concerns about the way that you're leading, and you need to figure it out, then I really deeply, strongly implore you to sit with yourself, get to know yourself, figure out why you may not make the best decisions in certain areas and how you can fix that. And then just test it. Like, sit with your situations and your circumstances and whatever crossroads you come to. Sit at them and ponder them and see where your heart just automatically wants to take you, and then see where your brain takes you from there. And just really complete the analysis on your own, because it is such a freeing experience, and it is really just such a major part of growth and just development, and just like even just getting to know and love yourself. Because again, with trusting yourself is just as essential as loving and respecting yourself. You need to grow that love. You need to make sure that that love is there, and making sure that that love is there is by giving yourself time and giving yourself the ability to go about life the way that you truly want to go about life. Giving yourself the chance to do that. And maybe that doesn't sound fun to you. Maybe it sounds better to just be like, no, I'm gonna just give it to somebody else. Like, I just want people to give me advice because I don't know, I don't trust myself, I don't want to, I know I'm not gonna. Then that's your journey, you know, that's up to you. But this video is for people who don't want that. This video is for people who realize that that's an area where they want to strengthen their trust in themselves. They want to be able to just go about life to the best of their ability and grow and really receive the full experience that they're meant to receive. And in order to do that, you have to do the self-work. This is part of that self-work. This is something that you may not always realize earlier in life too. Like, this is something that it can be so common. It's like people always go to their friends or go to the internet or whatever to see what other people are thinking about something, and like they may have an idea of how they feel. Like, I feel like this is disrespectful. Let me reach out to my best friend. Is this disrespectful? Yeah, girl, that's disrespectful. Okay, it's disrespectful. But it's like sometimes you do gotta think to yourself and like give yourself a little bit more time. Like, okay, I think this is disrespectful, but why do I feel that way? Like, it's just fun. It's fun to really determine, because even if you still come to the same conclusion, this is disrespectful, whatever it may be, that was just the first example that came to my head. Even if you still come to the same conclusion that that's disrespectful, now you know why. It's no longer I think this is disrespectful. Now it's this motherfucker just disrespected me. Like, this person just really disrespected me. Like, they got me fucked up. Like, now you're confirming it, and you know exactly why you feel that way. Confidence, building your confidence in your arguments and your decisions. So now if I slap you, no, I'm just kidding. Just have a couple moments to yourself and just think, okay? Answer those questions, ask the questions, and give yourself a chance to just learn and grow in this life, because that's what we're here for, and it's just so much fun, okay? Just another little quick chit chat here on the floor. We're real cozy over here, just having a good time, just getting to know ourselves and love ourselves and grow with ourselves, and we're doing this together. We're on this journey together. I see you, you see me, and we're here. So if you liked this video, if it was valuable for you, please make sure that you thumbs up. If you have any insight, any thoughts, maybe you want to share your journey regarding like building your own self-trust and what that journey has looked like for you, because I am curious. I want to know what it's looked like for other people. Then always feel free to share. This is a safe space. My corner of the interwebs is a safe space. I don't know about the other corners, but mine is. And if you want to make yourself at home, of course, feel free to make yourself at home. Hit that subscribe button, join the family. We drink tea, we have chit chats, and sometimes we go on vloggy vlogs when we go out of town and stuff like that. Thanks again for watching, y'all, and I will absolutely see you in the next video. Bye.